What is good, guys? In this week's video, I just want to talk a little bit about some roadblocks that's come up in the past week or two, and how I have dealt with these roadblocks and put my mind and got my mindset back in a good place. So basically, there have been a series of events over the past 2 weeks which has derailed my training and my progress a little bit. I guess the first thing was, man, my glasses are fogged. A couple of videos ago, I mentioned that I don't really go heavy on my deadlifts anymore. Just want to keep my back strong. But in saying that, I think 2 weeks ago on a Monday night, I was kind of late. I had eaten a decent amount of food that day. I was feeling good, and I decided, hey, why not go for a heavy single? And I think I went for 160, hit a couple of singles, and it felt good. But after that, I tweaked my back a little bit. So that is why I am shying away from going heavy, and I'll use this as a reminder to not go heavy. So I tweaked my back on that Monday. After that, my right knee started hurting a little bit. So the jumper's knee came up a little bit, and that was the second annoying thing. Due to those two factors, my motivation for hitting the gym went down. So I missed a couple workouts, and essentially last week I only went to the gym once, and the week before that I went twice. And then the next thing that happened was when I went to do my weekly jumping last Thursday. The jumps just fell off. I don't know if I didn't eat enough food that day, if my tweaked back and knee were kind of bothering me a bit too much, but I really couldn't get much height on my jumps, as you will see in these clips. And that really just brought up, a lot of doubts. Thoughts that have basically been with me for years and years. Am I actually going to be able to dunk? Is it even worth it? Should I just start, strength training, putting on weight again, so I'm stronger for basketball? All these doubts just kind of started popping back up, and to kind of compound onto that, over the weekend I got sick. So on Friday, my throat started getting a bit scratchy. On Saturday, I had a headache, and kind of as a result of all those factors, I also ate really poorly over the weekend.
Diet starts tomorrow.
Yeah, diet starts tomorrow. And I resume my training and diet on Monday. Don't shake your head at me, Shirley.
Okay, I'm on my head, please.
About to dominate some settlers.
In summary, I ran into a whole bunch of these roadblocks. I had to take a moment to gather myself, basically get myself in a better mindset. So I did that by focusing on 3 things. So the first thing was actually to appreciate the mental break. So it's very easy, I think, for any person going for any goal, when you're kind of going hard after it, you've got a bit of good momentum. When that starts slipping, for me, my diet slipped, I missed training sessions, it's very easy to start feeling guilty and to think, oh, what's the point? But instead of doing that, I took the opportunity to just appreciate the mental break. To just enjoy being able to just eat what I wanted for the weekend and just not worry about my goal just for a couple days. So that's the first thing, is just appreciate that mental break instead of feeling guilty over it. Second thing is I took a moment to visualize my goal again. So to remind myself, why am I doing this in the first place? And back to what I mentioned in the very first video is I'm 26. My body's kind of athleticism is definitely counting down. And if I want to dunk in this lifetime, it's going to be in the next few years. And that's something that I've always wanted to do since I was a little kid. So I just needed to visualize that again and remind myself that it is possible. And all the areas of improvement that I still have. I definitely haven't reached my limit yet. The third thing is to take a bigger perspective. In the past couple of weeks, the training, the momentum has been going fairly well. So it's almost like, there's a little graph with my progress, and it's kind of going up, up, up. And then in the past week, it's taken a little dip. So in light of this whole thing, it would be easy to just let this one down week get me down. It might lead to another down week. And in which case, that graph, it would just start going downhill and lead to a downward spiral. But if I take the bigger picture and just refocus myself for this coming week ahead, over time, that one down week wouldn't really matter in the whole scheme of things. So that is the third thing I did to refocus myself. So hopefully for those of you that are watching this, if you have a goal that you're working towards, you can use this video as just a little reminder that there are going to be roadblocks along the way. Things aren't always going to go smoothly, but it's important to take the bigger picture, remind yourself of the goal, and to just not fall into a guilty mindset when things don't go perfectly smoothly. All that being said, gonna wrap up this week's video with a weekly report. So training, 1 out of 5. Reasoning has already kind of been discussed. For stretching, I get 4 out of 5. I did manage to get decent stretching sessions for 6 days last week, so that's pretty cool. For my diet and weight loss, I get 4 out of 5. I was actually pretty disciplined with my diet despite not training very well. So as you'll see now, my weight loss is back on track despite gaining a bit of weight last week. Injuries wise, again, wasn't great. Tweaked my back, my knee started hurting, but the silver lining is that my ankle, which has been bothering me for a while, is feeling better than it has in the past couple of weeks, so I get a 2 out of 5. That comes to an average rating of 2.5 out of 5. Not the best week, but like I said, it was a down week, and this coming week is going to be heaps better. Hopefully this video was useful for some of you. Even if it wasn't, if you agree that Ponyo is just the most adorable little puppy ever, then please drop a comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you next week. Cheers, cheers.